Well, that's not ideal, is it? Losing against Tottenham. Even though it's pre-season, you still want to win these types of games. A North London derby, pre-season or not, you've got to win it. And unfortunately, we've come away with a 1-0 loss. And let's talk about it. Let's discuss things that we've maybe been able to learn from today's game, some of the things that maybe weren't so impressive, and some things that looked pretty good. And obviously, we need to discuss Gyokeres. He made his debut today. He got 15 minutes or so. Didn't get up to much, but we'll talk about it. There's a lot to get through today. Again, though, I should just remind you guys, it is pre-season, and obviously, it doesn't matter. It genuinely doesn't matter. I mean, you might look back in 6 months ago. Oh yeah, do you remember when we lost to Tottenham in pre-season? It's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. And I do want to say Tottenham didn't look too bad. I would argue it was a pretty underwhelming game from both teams. It wasn't a particularly good game to watch. And whilst the stats heavily lean in Arsenal's favour, when you actually watch the game with these things, these eyes, Tottenham probably didn't deserve to lose, and they got a 1-0 win. They probably deserve to win the game, I guess. It's one of those games where you might look on paper and think they've got a little bit lucky or whatever, but you've got to just watch games. Watch games with your eyes, okay? So we've had more possession. We've had almost triple the amount of shots they've had, way more passes. We did dominate periods of the game, and ultimately they scored a very, very, very good goal. It was a lovely chipped shot from 40 yards out from Sarr. So Raya's collected the ball in a bit of a dangerous area. He's given it to Lewis Skelly, who is surrounded by Tottenham players, and he's lost it. They've chipped Raya as he's running back. Now, it's not a legit goal, okay? I'm sorry. If you watch the replay, you're gonna agree with me. I hope if you, again, use your eyes, you will see that it's the most blatant foul on Lewis Skelly. Richarlison, who isn't anywhere near the ball, swipes his leg out from him. Lewis Skelly falls to the ground. Sarr picks it up. And look, I'm not going to take anything away from the finish because it is an incredible goal. The finish is absolutely amazing. They go 1-0 up. And to be fair, they kind of just cruised for the rest of the game. We weren't able to create too much. Even though we've had 16 shots, only one of them was on target. And that's the story of Arsenal Football Club, really, isn't it? We create, or at least have plenty of chances and plenty of shots, but we just don't do enough with them. Obviously, with it being pre-season, I'm sure Arteta's trying some different things out. We obviously had a couple of new faces come in this summer and they've been playing and they've only had a couple of games. It's going to take a little bit of time. We'll talk about, Norgard, for example. I was really impressed with him. I think a draw would have probably been the most fair result. But Tottenham, fair play, held on to the 1-0 win. Let's have a look at the lineups. So this is what it looked at the start of the game. Obviously, there was plenty of substitutions. Although, I should say, Arteta took way too long. We didn't make a sub until the 68th minute. I mean, in a normal Premier League game, I kind of understand that. But in a pre-season game, in a friendly, like, come on, man. We should have seen a couple of changes, I think, probably at half-time. So let's go through the Tottenham lineup really quickly and kind of get out of the way because I don't really want to spend my time talking about Tottenham, but Vicario in goal, Spence, Van der Ven, Romero, Porro, it's their preferred back five, I would presume. I guess Udogi should be at left back, but Spence is good. Sarr, Bentancur and Bergvall in midfield. Kudus on the right, Odegaard on the left, Richarlison up front. It's not their absolute first 11, but it's up there, isn't it? It's a pretty strong lineup. And they did fine. Look, they look a lot better already under Thomas Frank. Just a bit more structured defensively. I thought Ange was really good with progressive attacking football and they were creating a lot of chances, but at the back, they looked so suspect. And with Thomas Frank coming in, they're calling him Thomas the Frank engine, aren't they? Oh my God, I kind of like it. I'm a big fan of Thomas Frank, and what he did at Brentford, he will do at Tottenham. Just structurally make them more sound and harder to beat. That's enough of Tottenham. I was impressed with Sarr. I thought he was very good. Van der Ven and Romero, obviously very good centre-back partnership, and that's about it. And Kudus, very difficult down the wing, of course. I think Lewis Skelly had some tough times. But let's go through the Arsenal lineup. Raya in goal. Thought he looked a little bit suspect today with his decision-making. And to be fair, He is short, and I'm not saying if he was taller, he would have been able to stop the Sar chip. But we've already seen it a couple of times last season and the season before, and obviously in pre-season as well. It does affect him slightly, the fact that he is only 6 foot, 6'1", which isn't small, by the way, but for a goalkeeper, it is a little bit on the smaller side. And for me, he's a world-class goalkeeper, and on his day, he's one of the best keepers in the world. Okay, he is. I'm sorry, you might disagree. That's fine. He's up there, right? But if there is one thing that really does let him down, it is his height. It makes a huge impact. It does. But I'm not here for the saying he should be dropped for Kepa. No, come off it. Ben White at right back, really wasn't too impressed with him today. Defensively, he was pretty good, but on the attack, it was the same thing every time. The overlap on Saka, he'd get the ball and just try and release a cross into the middle of the box, and it would get intercepted. It was the same thing every time. A couple of wayward crosses. It wasn't a good game from Ben White. I'm surprised he got a 7.1, to be fair. We need Timber back. We need Timber back so bad. Saliba was solid, did a job. I mean, Mosquera came on next to him in the second half and looked pretty good as well. Kivior started. Actually, I think Kivior's been really good in pre-season. Some of his passing, especially those long ball diagonals up the pitch, very impressive. Lewis Skelly, you could argue, was at fault for the goal, along with Raya. I don't think Raya should have passed it to him in that situation, but Lewis Skelly is so good on the turn, and normally it wouldn't be an issue, but he's been fouled. He has been fouled. It's 100% a foul. If that goal happened in the Premier League or in the Champions League, VAR would have ruled it out 100%. Like, there's no doubt about it. So I'm not going to blame Lewis Skelly, but what I will say is he has looked a little bit leggy. I don't know if he's tired, if he's played too much football at such a young age already. Who knows? Hasn't been at his best, but it's pre-season. It's okay, guys. Calm down. Declan Rice on the left side, Ødegaard on the right, Norgard in the middle. Norgard has really impressed me, and actually I was kind of sad when he came off, but of course Zubimendi came in, so it has to be the straight swap, ideally. I really like Norgard. I think it's a really good signing. He has looked smooth. He's fit in nicely. He's not the quickest, but he's got a good brain. Good footballing brain. He was in good positions to defend, and he's a threat going forward from set pieces as well. Great in the air. I really like Norgard. I really do. And Ødegaard, I think, has actually had a good pre-season so far. He looks raring to go. I thought he was good today. Some good movement, some good crosses into the box, but obviously he wasn't able to get anything going. And Rice didn't have a particularly great game. A rare average game for him, but he wasn't bad either. We'll move into the front three now. Saka looked dangerous at times, but didn't have that final bit of quality. Havertz was disappointing, in my opinion. He's great at holding up the ball, but otherwise, he's just a pressing machine, and he doesn't really do anything. Very frustrating when you've got this brand new number 14 sitting on the bench, Gyokeres, who maybe could have started today instead of just getting 15 minutes. Who knows? Maybe he wasn't quite ready yet, but again, it's pre-season. Havertz was out for a long time with injury. He's come back seemingly with a bit of bulk on him. He's a bit of a bigger boy now, but still just a little bit Bambi, little bit legs just going everywhere. But for me, the most disappointing performance, again, it's just Martinelli, guys. We have a huge issue. This left side is an issue. It really is. I'm not sure how we address it with someone like Eze, who isn't an out-and-out winger. I do sometimes think that maybe Madueke has been brought in to play over on the left side and operate as just a traditional winger who's going to be whipping in crosses with his left foot. It just gives us something different. But yeah, it's very clear that that's a position we need to improve in. Whether we do get Eze or if we go back in for Rodrigo from Real Madrid, I don't see that one happening now. I'm just always left wanting more from Martinelli. It's frustrating. I don't think he offers enough, and he's living off what he did 2-3 years ago when he did have such a good season for us, when he was our top scorer and he was breaking through into this first team and scoring goals, and everyone was going on about how good Martinelli is and how much of a gem he is and how cheap he was. And now it's becoming a recurring theme where we can just blame Martinelli for just lack of anything down the left side. Trossard came on, eventually came off as well. I think he's picked up like a little injury, but Trossard was just instantly better. Just helped so much more down the left side. And when he came off, Reece Nelson came on. And honestly, Reece Nelson was brilliant when he came on. He looked so good. And he's leaving. He's going to Fulham with an obligation to buy, apparently, on loan. So we still need to work on that left side. We really do. We can talk about other debutants or other players just coming on. Zubimendi, I did mention it. I was streaming and I mentioned how much I love Zubimendi. He's just my kind of player. I love that kind of DM. Just so calm. And we instantly had more control. I think when Zubimendi came on, there was only one team really going for the win and creating chances. And he was instigating almost all of it. Trossard only obviously got 15 minutes or so before he came off. Mosquera came on. Great to see our new number 3. He looks like the Spanish Saliba. His build is very similar. Tall, but quite physical. Looks very quick. Very interested to see more of him. He had a great pass, like a zippy pass on him, but didn't obviously have much time to show what he's got. Zinchenko, I mean, Marino didn't do much. But let's talk about Max Dowman and Gyokeres. I talked about Reece Nelson, but Max Dowman came on again, featuring down that right side for Saka. Max Dowman, seemingly when he plays for the academy and the under 21s, under 18s, whatever, he's more of a central player, but he's been given minutes out on the right side. And my God, guys, he's absolutely incredible. Some of the passing, the crossing, his shooting with his right foot, with his left foot, positionally, he just seems to already get it. I don't understand how a player that's 15 years old, he's not even old enough to be in the game. FC 26 won't have Dowman, not until he turns 16. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. We have got another gem there. And he's learning already. He's next to Ødegaard again today. We're getting some minutes next to the captain. And honestly, special player. We've created another monster. And Gyokeres, I mean, funnily enough, he came on with 14 minutes to go, the new number 14. He had 1 or 2 touches. Didn't really get any service, though, did he? And look, we're going to get abused online when Gyokeres fails. Oh, 007's on his way. The whole, 7 games with no goals, no assists target on his back. You just got to accept it, guys, because when big players move to other big teams, you want them to fail. Everyone outside of the Arsenal camp wants Gyokeres to fail. It's going to be a really difficult adjustment for him. And this is just pre-season. He's literally just arrived with these players over the last few days. He's been thrown on in a North London derby. Yes, it's a friendly, with 15 minutes left to play. And what's he meant to really do? It was a little bit of a tricky situation for him. And I felt like no one really found him. There was no service whatsoever. But of course, it would have been amazing if he could have scored from a corner or something like that and shut up all the haters early on. But overall, guys, look, it wasn't a great game from both sides. I think Tottenham just wanted to see an improvement from last season, and they've got that. I think Tottenham fans will be really happy with that. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't an amazing, dominant victory, but they've beaten Arsenal in a North London derby friendly. And that is so much better than anything they experienced last season in the Premier League. They really struggled, finishing 17th. Of course, they won the Europa League. And look, guys, we just lost to the Europa champions, all right? But I'm sure Tottenham fans will be really happy. And of course, Arsenal fans won't be. It wasn't a great game, but it is just pre-season. We've got another game in a week or so back in England as well for the Emirates Cup. You'll never sing that, champions of the Emirates Cup. But I'm really excited to see a couple more games before the season starts. Few things I want to see in the next game, though. I want to see Gyokeres starting. I think it's vital that he gets more than just 20 minutes in the next game. So if he doesn't start, I'd expect to see him come on at half-time. On the left side, I don't want Martinelli starting. Maybe we can have a new signing by then. I doubt it. I think if we're going to get a left winger, it's going to be late in the window. And if Trossard's not fit, then I guess we have to go with Martinelli. I don't know if we're going to have Madueke by then. He's been given extended leave because he was in the Club World Cup, but maybe Madueke would be in there. I want to see Zubimendi, Rice and Ødegaard again, that midfield 3. And I want Timber back. Timber, I think, is a huge part of what we do down the right side. I just don't know if Ben White can recreate what Timber offers us. Even though Ben White has been incredible over the years, Timber just gives us more. So that's what I want to see. Thank you for watching this review of the Arsenal-Tottenham game, which we lost. But it's fine because we'll beat them twice next season in the league. And if we get them in a cup competition, we'll beat them then as well.